Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hanging with Web show. I'm GW Pomichter, and you are watching either on YouTube or maybe they're watching on the new HWWS WebTV app.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
They could be doing that. If you are, we want to make sure that you go on over to YouTube real quick and hit subscribe so you get notified every time we do another episode of the show. We are at Famous Faces and Funnies all day long today. We're hanging out with some great friends. Our good friend Rick Shea is hosting artists and comic book creators and everybody down here while we sign stuff and talked. We just talked to a very little person who knew more about the stuff in the shop than I do, which is really, but she was like 5 and she knows everything.
Right.
Because you know how that is. You have a little one that's just not quite able to tell you what she knows yet, right?
Well, no. I mean, the little one. I mean, my youngest is 7 months, so he can't tell me anything.
Can't tell you anything yet.
I mean, but everything, if it's good, it goes in the mouth. So that's how you know.
Oh, that's how you know.
If he likes it, it goes in the mouth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're gonna leave that there because it's not unlike the rest of us.
Right.
He gets away with it. He's 7 months.
Right. That's where we start. We learn from from day one.
From day
if
one.
you like it, put it in your mouth.
The internet just went crazy. The good thing Travis is in web design, he's going to have to design a place for all of that traffic to land.
Right,
now.
right, exactly. But I have to have landing pages,
That's
all sorts
right.
of stuff.
Wow.
Spend some Google AdWords.
So, man, we got 2 of the Broke Down series out here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a different cover. I haven't seen this other one.
Which one? This one?
This one, yeah. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
this
that
one was
yet.
done by Rich Woodall. Rich
That's
Woodall,
awesome.
he does Electric Black. He's a good friend of mine out from New Hampshire. He did that cover for me, which is really, really good. I'm really proud of it. He's an up-and-comer. He's doing a lot of really cool things.
That is awesome. Guys, if you guys don't remember, we're hanging out right now with our friend Travis Gibb, who is the creator of Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies.
Yes.
And every time we turn around, there's a new dead body in the trunk. So it's 4, it's 5, maybe 8 dead bodies by the time he's done. We're really not sure how many dead bodies he's going to go through. What we do know is that you guys have really been loving the material online.
Right.
So
yeah, we do really well on Kickstarter. We're really growing our audience. I mean, I have like 6 books coming out in the beginning of the next year, the first half.
fantastic.
Yeah, we've got 3 and 4 of this coming out. We've got another Advocator, so issue 3 of the Advocator. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
So and in that is a story called Reapers, which is a one-shot that I'm coming out with. It's a prestigious hardcover. I've got Dog Days. We've talked about that before.
Yes.
And I also just got accepted because Cthulhu is Hard to Spell 2. Now, Cthulhu Hard to Spell 1, just so you know, raised $40,000 on Kickstarter.
Wow.
And I was lucky enough to have one of my stories submitted and accepted. I mean, he gets hundreds and hundreds of submissions.
That is fantastic.
So I'm going to be in that. That'll come out in March. So that's really, really cool.
Wow. I mean, you're all in now, man. You're super, super busy doing a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, when we first talked a couple of years ago, now we've known each other for a while, but
Yeah.
when we first talked on camera as an artist a couple of years ago, you were just diving into your art. You were really
just had the
deciding,
black
hey,
and
let's
white.
go, right?
Yeah.
And now here you are. You've got all these projects in the works. Did you have a lot of confidence back then that that you'd be here by now? Or were you thinking it'd be a little more long term, or you know?
I assumed I'd be paying my way. A lot, you know. I didn't assume people would be asking me to do stuff, you know. I've got 2 writing gigs that are fully paid for from people that I'm working on, so I didn't think I'd be there yet. I thought I'd be still paying my way, you know, where I'm kind of marketing
Well, this is
myself.
very much a let's pay your dues kind of industry, man. And it's always great to see. Now, one of the advantages you started out with is you really dove into learning how to effectively work Kickstarter.
Right.
And a lot of our comic artists have a hard time navigating that at first. It takes time.
Well, it's building a fan base. You got to build a fan base before you go to Kickstarter, and that's backwards to a creator when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
I need quick Kickstarter to get me my money to be able to make the book. I don't have a fan base. That's why I need Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Where that's not the way it works. You have to build a fan base before you even go on that platform. So.
And then kind of release it. And I mean, if you do that, you can be very, very successful.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you got the next Broke Downs.
Yeah, it's mostly done right now. I've got about 5 pages left. And it'll probably be done by the end of the month. But when you factor in Christmas, it's not a good time to go on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So we're going to wait till January, put it on live there. But the book's already done. It's just getting it out and showing people. I got to color some pages. It's bloody. The next issue is extremely bloody.
This is back to those pulp days.
Yeah, no, we're going back because all the blood in here, I've kind of done it off panel. I've done there's blood.
You
but
see
it's
it just.
Yeah, but we're getting
more
bloody.
over there.
You're going to see like Walking Dead style,
wow.
bat to head stuff.
Wow.
So we're going to see that the next one. So I really want to get that the colors right.
Now, is that something that spoke to you? You wanted to really put that out there, or is that something that fans kind of were saying, "Hey, we want a little more"?
No, it was building towards that. I was always building towards those moments. Mm-hmm. This is where it turns, right? Because right now a lot of people are like, "Hey, it's very Pulp Fiction-esque. It's very Quentin Tarantino-esque." Yes, absolutely, I agree with that. But this is where it turns to be its own thing. Yeah. So issue 3 and 4, you're going to see that. Oh, those are his influences, but we don't need those anymore. Like we're building our own audience. We're going in a different direction. People are going to see where the book's going because it leads right into the one-shot. So because next year I have the one-shots coming out. I have the wrestling one-shot, broke down and tapped out. I have the broke down and patched in, which is like a punk rock thing. So people are going to see this universe very differently. We're not going to be comparing it to Quentin Tarantino anymore. Starting next year, so people are going to start
seeing. Get to dive in and see who influenced Travis.
Right, exactly.
And now you get to meet Travis.
Well, you'll still see a lot of influence. I'm still playing with a lot of my influences, but yeah, you're definitely going to see the Travis writer.
How's that development coming? I mean, as you work, I mean, you did when we start out writing. I think we write. Not so much what we know, but who we know.
Right,
we
exactly.
write we emulate other people. But as you develop as a writer. How freeing has that been?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I mean, issue 2 is probably the hardest thing I've had to write because it's a setup issue, right? Mm-hmm. Issue 1s are easy. Everyone knows what they want to say. They know the big splash. But issue 2, you've got to set up the rest of the story. So issue 2, we set up like 3 different groups and doing all that was really, really hard. And then making that interesting. You know, that's what took me so long to get issue 2 out is I added extra pages. I added backstories. I was like, what can I do to make this as good as issue 1? And then issue 3, I've kind of got that world set up, so now I can really play in it. So now the world is fully set up the way I need it, so I can, it's all revved up and ready to go.
Now you get to, as the writer, you get to sit back and react to the world that you created.
Absolutely.
Which will be a lot of fun.
It's really cool. It's allowed me to do stuff. I can't tell you all the details of it, but I've got to a point in my career where I'm well respected in the indie circles. Very, very fast, which is really lucky. So
well, you've done something with the indie community that a lot of people don't think of early on. They think of it later on, I think. And that is from day one, from when you dove in, you've been advocating for other indies. And you've been out there trying to help other indies grow. And setting an example for, this is how I do it. You might be a little different, but this is a path that you can take. And that's a little different because I think when most people dive in, they think of creating as this solitary venture where you're either drawing or you're writing or you're doing something solitary. You don't necessarily think about that you're a part of this menagerie that is a community. And you embraced that early. And I think that might have been part of your early successes is that other indie artists are looking at you saying, hey, that's cool, and I don't have to go back to my desk and do it all by myself. There's a whole community out here waiting to help you.
And you can tell the difference too. The people who are in it for themselves, they have trouble. Their first issue does really well on Kickstarter, but issue 2 it doesn't work as well. In issue 3, it's even less and less. You'll see they go the opposite way, where most people are going up.
I always tell people we do better. I see more growth. I see more people coming into the show, and when we're helping other folks.
Absolutely.
We get more out of that. And the reality is that whether that's a numerical thing or a monetary thing, you get more out of that in here too, as a creator, because so many people come along that influence your next story. Somebody comes along and says, hey, I really loved what you did here. I might have gone this way, and you think about that, and you're like, well, I don't want to go there. But that's kind of a cool idea. And so there's a lot of collaboration that happens in the creative circle if you're open to it.
Yeah, I have an anthology that's coming out next year that I've partnered with people, but I've got literally every major publisher. So I've got Dirk Manning from Source Point Press, and does all sorts of crazy stuff. I've got Carl Moline. He's done all the stuff. I think you're interviewing with him later today, hopefully. He's an artist from Marvel, DC, Image, all that. I've got all these guys who want to work with me. the guy who, Richard Rivera from Stabby Bunny.
Yep.
All these guys who want to partner with me, who trust me, because anthologies, a lot of people don't get paid, and they're worried about that, so they don't want to do them. And all these guys are willing to partner up with me. So I've got this, all my Russell Nolte's, he's over great on the West Coast. Like,
awesome.
all these people are wanting to partner with me, which is really, really good. And it allows me to really elevate my name, because they're like, you deserve to be on this platform with me. Which
it's
is
exciting
super
in a short time.
Yeah.
It really is. It is exciting to see when it comes together. And like you said, a couple years ago, it was like, hey, I'll still be paying my dues in 2 years. Maybe 5 years, somebody will want to work with me, but in 2 years, I'll still be paying my dues. And now here we are 2 years later, and they want to work with you.
Yeah.
You have other indies that are looking to you. That's a fantastic journey, man. Yeah. We're really super happy to be a part of your journey. We really are.
Absolutely. I love you guys.
Thank you so much. Guys, we have to wrap it up. We're going to say thank you to our partners and our friends right here at Famous Faces and Funnies, Rick Shea and his team. Amazing folks. And one of the great things about Rick is that he's always willing to bring the indies in here.
Absolutely. He loves it. He's one of my biggest supporters, too.
It's fantastic. Our great friends, Jake Estrada, David Grace over at Space Coast Comixx and Space Coast Comic-Con. Our good friend Chuck Fresh at Indie Originals. Josh Bauer at J. Bauer Art for all the art that's on the set. He's an amazing artist. Check him out in the links down below. Embellish Effects for keeping Cosplay Michael in more makeup and latex than I know what to do with. And thank you very much to our good friends Cliff and Rebecca for these fantastic comfy chairs, and our friend B over at Hearts Helping Others of Central Florida. And of course, our newest producer, who just signed up and wrote a check to help produce the show, is a gentleman out of Great Britain. Is a mentalist, a psychic online, which is really kind of strange, right? You're like, how do you technology and mysticism mix together? Check out manifestthywill.com. Our good friend Xavier, who I hope that's his real name, because that just means his mother was really cool.
Well, and you got to trust someone who can read your mind, whose name is Xavier.
That's right. You have to trust that guy.
You got to trust him.
So check out Xavier's manifestthywill.com. Thank you so much, Xavier, and thank you for logging on and tuning in. Be sure to come back and see who we're hanging with next. Awesome. Thank you so much, Travis. Awesome, brother.